March 31st, and this is Wake Up with Weston Jolly. I wanted to share with you literally the magic of being in the moment. And this morning especially, I wanted to talk about how we can move ourselves from being out of alignment or in a state that's wobbly or imbalanced, and to bring ourselves into a centered state. And while there's a lot of desire to gather in unity, and to do so with the intention that we become one voice, and this is a beautiful thought, but I want to suggest to you, and rather invite you, that harmony, or literally the movement of being at one, is more important than numbers. And what I want to share with you is like going to a football game where we have a whole side that's creating all of this noise in behalf of the team, or the party that they want to, quote, win, or do something spectacular. But what we're doing now as a group isn't about just numbers. It's literally about allowing ourselves to be at one with ourselves, and then of course with others. As we create that connection, that true connection, then we are enabled to go forward in a very different kind of way. So instead of thinking that you are doing better by gathering in groups, masses, I saw a recent social media invitation that if we could get 1 million people to meditate, which is a really phenomenal goal, a great thought. But I would trade that thought for getting 2 people that were really that aligned. And so for this moment, I'd like to ask that of you individually, that you would resonate or harmonate with me as I would harmonate with you. And then if we add a second or a third, it becomes very, very different than just having a mass. And I want you to think of a football game where, again, we just have this mass noise. There is harmony to some degree, but it's not necessarily the same kind of thing as hearing 2 people that become at one with one voice. There's tremendous examples of this where we have a lead singer and a backup singer, and they literally become one voice, or several people on stage, let's say more than 2 or 3 lead singers that literally become at one voice, because that's their intention. And so if we move our intention from just trying to be a collective noise, and not necessarily allowing ourselves to be distracted by the noise, meaning all the things that are coming at us in terms of what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and how your your body starts to resonate with cavitation of uncertainty and fear and acknowledgement of what might be coming next. Again, I just want to invite you back to the moment. For in this moment, if we choose to be in harmony with that which is, then we enable ourselves, empower ourselves in a way that's just unlike anything that you could possibly do. So if you're willing, allow yourself to become really hyper aware of what it is to become at one with your energy, if you will, just with me, or join me together, so that I can match you, you can match me, and at one point we become one voice, to the point that me and you as ideas, as senses of who we are, that begins to become less important, and then we become at one. Now, if we'd add numbers to that, that becomes something terrific to observe. But it's not about the numbers. So set aside the male side of you that may want to say, yeah, let's go get 1 million people, and let's see if we can't just bring 2 people together, just you and I, and then just add others as they would come join us in this exact same kind of resonance, this kind of sound. So perhaps you've been to a choir practice, maybe in high school, maybe in 8th grade, you were offered the opportunity to sing. And in doing so, they're very careful about making sure that every individual party can hold a note, and that's appropriate. And since I can't do that, I won't be able to demonstrate that in that form. But the analogy is really strong, because if we're able to see that as we go into a holding the note, absent of what might be happening around us in terms of someone singing off key over here, or someone singing the wrong lyrics over here, or someone not even singing at all behind us. And we can literally hold our own. And what I mean by that is becoming really, really connected with our voice. That can take what they call a trained ear, that we literally hear ourselves becoming at one. And so that's something that we want to practice spiritually, that we create a divine ear so that we can become at one with ourselves, with Source within us. And then that becomes a resonance for others to begin to tap into within their own self first. And then, of course, they can join us in that space, and that makes quite a choir. For the moment, I would like to, again, focus on just you becoming aware of how to get in tune. And that's done, in my opinion, through energy, which can be done magically through breath. So just take a moment and breathe and allow yourself to confirm that it is safe in this moment for you to be present with me. And I say safe very consciously so that you can remove yourself from any distraction that has been in your mind, to soften that and allow yourself to be present, to feel the energy perhaps through the entirety of your body so that you can begin to resonate with Source, with the light. And as you choose that, just allow yourself to be further imbalanced in that state through conscious breathing, through your breath, not allowing your mind to think or dwell or go anywhere except right here. What else do you really have beyond being right here in the present moment with me? Just harmonize with me. Let me harmonize with you. Let us become one voice, a voice of two, that becomes so significant, so powerful, that it creates the invitation for others and their willingness and their desire to join us. In your choice to join us, in the connection of oneness that is us within you, we become one with you as you become one with us. As you enable yourself to participate in this process, this aspect of your being, you enable yourself to go forward in a different kind of way. This is indeed the invitation for you at hand, each of you. Yes, there's a great deal of energy that you think to be chaotic around you. And yet this doesn't have to be if you're willing to stay present at one in this moment. This state of oneness is all important. And yet many of you will dismiss it as if you don't have time for that, which is an attribute of the shell or the egoic self, and the idea that you can't allow yourself to be present in this moment. But as you are, and as you remember, do be reminded that you have free will choice, so that you can enable yourself to do anything that you wish. So if it's your desire to participate in this moment by being present, breathe and become at one, no longer being afraid, but resonating in the light, that which you see all around you, the dawn of a new day. Respect that which is within you and the empowerment that you have, so that you might continue to feel and to become at one, to resonate, to expand, and to create invitation with one another. If you're to do this just one time a day, it would make a marked difference in terms of how you feel, and most of all, how you express yourself, and certainly those invitations that you would receive to yourself energetically and certainly tangibly. Your choice to no longer be afraid to become at one is important, for clearly there's only one part of you that wants to be at odds or disconnected from that which is of course your mind. That part of you that thinks that it's alive, And if you continue to allow yourself to remain separate in this way, even though that you feign an aspect of unity, that would be gathering together in the idea that through the group of a bunch of others that you can feel safer, this will create a continued false illusion for you. And the idea that there's many around you doing the same kinds of things, but not necessarily in truth. Clearly, there's been a lot of that going around, specific to the whole wide world. So it isn't just you or one faction or one nation or one community or even one government, as much as you're allowing yourself to resculpt, change, and restructure how you really want to connect. This is why the invitation, the suggestion before you is at hand. To be present, to enjoy the magic of being in the moment.